Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Pwnsweet here. And as some of you know, my brother and I recently went to Sydney for a trip for a couple of days, and we brought our Wii U's over with us. And while we were there, we played some Black Ops 2. But what you don't know is how much trouble it was just to get those Wii U's working. Now, I don't want to go into the details too much because I just had a conversation with a Nintendo customer service representative, which I recorded, and I'm going to put it up for you guys now. So I go into detail there about the problem. So, without further ado, here it is. I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to Nintendo customer service. Please select from one of the following options. For price support, press 1. For warranty and repair, press 2. For orders, press 3. For plug Nintendo, press 4. To hear our fax and internet details, press 5. For all other inquiries, press 9. To hear these options again.
Probably nine.
Good afternoon, welcome to Nintendo, Dean.
Yeah, g'day, mate. How you doing? My name's Robert.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Look, can I talk to someone there that is in charge of the Wii U system menu, or someone who can change the Wii U system menu or take feedback on it or something?
I can take the feedback because there's no one here who actually does the, I don't know, what can I call it, the development, I suppose, if I can say that, but we pass on any feedback up the chain, so yeah, I can help you with that.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, look, man, I recently went to Sydney on a trip to Sydney with my brother, and what we did is we brought our Wii U's with us. I'm from Western Australia.
Yep.
And we brought our Wii U's with us to play while we were over there.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't bring both gamepads, because we figured, you can just sync up the gamepad to that Wii U if you need to for whatever reason. But most of the games, like the game that we were going to be playing, didn't require the gamepad at all. It was just a Wiimote.
Remote, yep.
Yeah, you could just play with the Wiimote. So we only brought one gamepad with us, and when we went over there, we ran into a bit of a problem because what happened was one of the Wii U's had the gamepad synced up to it, right?
Yep.
From home, and the other one had a different gamepad synced up. I didn't bring that gamepad, like I said, I just brought one.
Yep.
And the Wii U that had the gamepad synced up with it was fine. We brought that over there. We hooked it up to a TV. It was all good. It was hooked up over here at home with HDMI connection, and then when we got over there, we had to hook it up with a composite cable instead of because it was just one of those old CRT TVs.
Cool, yep.
Yeah, we had the composite cable with us, so that was all good. We just plugged in the composite cable, turned it on, changed the settings in the, went into the system settings for that Wii U.
Did all that, yep.
Because there was nothing on the screen, obviously, because it was...
What's going to recognise it, yep.
Yeah. And so we changed it over to composite and everything was fine. Now, with the other Wii U, it was the same sort of deal. Over home here, it was hooked up with the HDMI. And then when we took it over, the TV that we were hooking it up to was another CRT TV.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hooking it up with component cables. Same sort of deal,
Yep.
The problem was I couldn't actually get that Wii U to switch over to component cables. To component cables because the gamepad, I couldn't sync the gamepad to that Wii U.
Yep.
Because what happens is when you sync up the gamepad, it shows like 4 little icons on the screen, right? It's not like a Wiimote. With the Wiimote, you push the sync button.
Yep.
You push the sync button on the console, and then it's just synced, right?
Yep.
With a gamepad, you've got to do this little kind of mini game thing where you got to hook it, put in these 4 little hearts, clubs, spades, diamonds, or whatever, right? It's some sort of random combination or something, and you got to put that in before it syncs up.
From the gamepad, yep.
The problem is it asks you to show, it says what's shown on the TV, put that in the gamepad.
Yep.
But I couldn't see what was on the TV.
Because you have the gamepad.
Because I didn't have the gamepad, right? So I couldn't change the settings.
Yep.
Okay. So what I had to do was, when I was over there, I couldn't hook it up and then see what was on the screen. So I went to the nearest Bing Lee store.
Yep.
And I said to him, look, my TV doesn't have HDMI.
Yep.
I need to hook up this Wii U up to one of your TVs that has HDMI because there was no TV that had HDMI where I was staying.
Yep.
And I have to switch it over to component, right? Because that was the only cable I had.
Yep.
And they were like, yeah, go for it, no problem. It was just an absolute headache, and it was all caused because of the fact that gamepad doesn't sync up you know,
Like a secondary console.
yeah, it doesn't sync up like a Wiimote. It has to have that special little symbol bull crap that you have to put in.
Yep.
Now, can you please pass on a message to those guys that are making this console? Because it seems like you guys need a bit of help, you know, like the Wii U hasn't been selling so well, and anything I think that can make it more user friendly. And you know, the Wii was easy. The original Wii, you just plug it up and it works, right?
Yep.
Everything just worked. With this console, it seems like everything's slower, and it's just so like everything's a hassle, right?
Yep.
And so, can you guys like this to make it less hassle and to make it more user friendly?
Yep.
Pass it on to them and tell them that to skip all that, you know.
Yep.
Maybe make it so that you can just change the settings without the gamepad.
Yep.
Like,
so that's the thing. It is very reliant on the gamepad, which is a little bit restrictive at times, and obviously you've come across that.
Yeah, but it's unnecessary. You know, it's completely unnecessary.
Like think about or rethink the synchronization process or something like that for sure.
Just tell them to make it so that you can change the settings using a Wiimote, you know, on the TV.
Yep. I think they're going sort of a little bit more the other way, where you can play your old Wii games and things like that using the gamepad rather than going backwards. They're trying to go forwards with it all.
Yeah.
We can certainly pass on that information. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, but nobody wants that. And people just want the system to be fast, you know? Like, it takes
I agree.
takes like 15 seconds just to get into the system settings. Yeah, so maybe you can tell them that. The other problem I've got is when I'm playing my game, right?
Yep.
If I'm like in, because I play the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 game, and when I play that game on the internet,
yep.
I know you got nothing to do with that game, right? I know that Activision makes it and stuff, but that's cool. But this is with any game. You know, if I go into the game and then I want to change my profile, let's say, like on the Xbox 360, I just push the home button, change the profile. It like kicks me back to the main menu of that game.
Yep.
And then I just continue on. I just click continue, and it continues on whatever that profile was at, you know?
Yep.
If that profile was at like stage 4 or whatever, it just continues on stage 4.
Yep.
Yeah. With the Wii U, I've got to go out of the whole game, back to the menu, change the user, and then load up the whole game again.
Yep.
And that's counterintuitive, you know what I mean?
Again, like you said before, it does slow the process down, I suppose.
It's like if the Xbox has been able to do it since 2006.
Yep.
You know, the Wii U came out like last year.
Based, you know, Nintendo doesn't have an account system-based console. It's all based to the console rather than to a user. So yeah, look, those things I agree can be a bit frustrating.
Well, no. What I mean is, it's not. I'm not talking about account system because
I understand what
it's
you're
still
saying.
got its own. Each profile still has its own.
That type of thing. It's a lot simpler, I suppose. So yeah.
Yeah, each profile still has its own.
Black Ops, yeah.
No. Well, like I said, it's with any game. Like even with New Super Mario Bros. You know, like if I want to continue on where I left off, right?
Yep.
If I want to change, if I play, let's say I play and up to World 2, right? The Desert World or whatever it is, and then my brother wants to play, and like on his own without me, you know, and then like what I have to do is if he's up to World 5, let's say, then I have to like go out of the game. And then switch to his profile, and then go back in the game, and then continue on from World 5, and he can play, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to do that on like the other consoles, you know? You just switch like the user, and that's it.
And away you go. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect console, and they're always trying to make improvements. And
well, that's what I figured.
Like, as mentioned, we'll certainly get passed on.
It's just that
where we'll go to. Can't answer that question.
Yeah.
But it will certainly be passed on anyway.
Well, I was just wondering if they kind of like knew about these problems because it's been like almost a year now and it hasn't been fixed, you know?
Oh, look, it's probably, to be honest, it may not be something, at the top of their list. Is it something they're aware of? I dare say so, but it may not just be sitting at the top of their list. Maybe other things they're concentrating on at the moment.
Yeah. Like, especially with that whole problem that I had in Sydney, it'd be great if instead of having to go into the system settings and manually change it over from, HDMI or component or vice versa or whatever, why can't it just auto scan the different outputs to see which one has the signal and then just output with that one? Yeah, like that would have solved like all the problems. Any other device, pretty much any device I've ever used does that, and I'm not referring to other consoles. I'm referring to pretty much anything.
Yep.
But this doesn't, and I don't know why.
Yep. No, we can certainly pass that information on. That's a given. So we'll see where it goes. It may not get to the top of the list, but it may get somewhere.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks for your help, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your call.
All right.
Okay, bye.
See ya. Freaking morons, man. All right, how do we stop this recording thing?